Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Zach and welcome back to my channel.
Today, we are going to learn the second Civic of this year for February. The title is Responsibility. So, in this lesson, we are going to learn about what is responsibility. Okay, but before that, I want you to watch this video, and afterward we are going to continue our lesson for today. Let's watch the video together.
Will you help me to do my homework, dear?
Tofu, it's dinner time and you haven't completed your homework yet? I hope you know that your teacher will be really angry.
I will do it after this cartoon, Tia. But please help me so that I can finish it fast.
You have been watching TV all day. You should get up and do your homework first.
My hand has been hurting since morning. I'm giving it some rest. Also, dear sister, will you please get my bag and pencil box from the room?
Excuses and more excuses. He should know his priorities right.
Where is my book? I can't find it here. Did I forget it in school? What will I tell my teacher in school?
You should be more responsible, Tofu. You are a big boy now. Anyway, complete the rest of your homework at least now and be more careful next time onwards. So Tofu, let me tell you a story. In a land far away lived a hard-working and kind trader. Mostly, he traded in salt. He also had a horse that was very lazy and always avoided work. The trader used him to carry sacks of salt from one town to the other.
Here, let me load these sacks up and let's go to the town across the river to sell this salt. I am so tired today. Why do I have to work every day? I wish I could sleep throughout the day, but no, I have to carry these loads of salt and move. Come on, horse, start walking. Cross that bridge. Until then, I'll pack some food for myself.
The horse was crossing the river. Suddenly, he slipped and fell into the water. As he was carrying sacks of salt on his back, the salt got wet and dissolved in the water. So when the horse got up, the sacks on his back were lighter. The horse thought to himself, "Wow, this seems to be a good idea. Every time I dip in the river, the salt would dissolve and my burden could be less. I must try doing this more often. I hope Master is not watching." When the master reached the town to sell the salt, it weighed just half of what he loaded. Thinking it might be his miscalculation, he sold whatever salt was left and returned home with his horse. The next morning, he again loaded his horse with the sacks of salt and started to pack his food. The horse yet again started walking before him and made it to the bridge.
I must try the dipping trick again before Master reaches here.
The trader got really confused as the sacks started weighing lesser every time. The horse purposely started slipping into the water every day so that the sacks became lighter. One day, the trader followed the horse. And hid in the bushes. To his surprise, he noticed the horse's new trick.
Oh, that's so cunning. I must teach this lazy horse a lesson soon.
So the following day, instead of salt, the trader filled the sacks with cotton and tied him to the horse's back. Out of his new habit, the horse purposely fell into the river.
Oh no, no! What is happening today? What is going wrong? How are these sacks getting heavier? Oh, my back hurts! What?
This time, as the sacks were filled with cotton, it soaked water and became heavier. The horse dipped again and again in water, thinking to drain the salt off somehow, but all went in vain. He somehow managed to get up and cross the bridge. He sat on the ground and panted as the sacks had gotten really, really heavy. The trader laughed at him and said,
Horse, I am your master. This is your work. I work very hard and worship my work. I don't make excuses or find tricks to fool others and avoid work. I must teach you to never repeat this and avoid your work.
The horse learned his lesson and never tried to avoid his work again. What a wise trader! Right, Tofu? He taught the lazy horse a good lesson. Come, let me give you the big bitter medicine for your hand. But hey, I can see it's totally fine now. Maybe you have forgotten about the pain.
Tia, I never had any pain. I just wanted to sit and watch cartoons. I was the lazy horse today. I am sorry, Tia. I'm really worried about my teacher scolding me tomorrow.
Here, take your books, Tofu. I also was the trader today. I just wanted you to learn a lesson. Now you should promise me that you will always do your work, and yes, I will help you with your homework.
Oh, thank you, Tia. Please, let's finish my homework quickly. I don't want to be lazy at all. I will always finish all my work before doing anything else. I promise you that.
Okay, so you have watched the video just now. So now let us go into what we are going to learn today. Okay, so today's lesson is about responsibility. So what is responsibility? Responsibility is being accountable for your action or choices. You can see the meaning of accountable in red and the meaning of choices in black. Okay, so why must we always be responsible? Because there's always consequences to your action. Whatever choices we make, we will always have the consequences. Okay? In life, there are two choices: the good choice and the bad choice. Good choice will result in good consequences, and bad choice will make you have bad consequences. For example, the good and bad. If you are an accountant and your job is to put the money in and out of the bank account for other people, okay, that's the job of accountant. Okay, they work in the bank, they count all the money, they put the money in the account of other people, and when you take out the money, they take it out of the account. Okay, so imagine what would happen if one day you as an accountant, you don't do your job. Many people won't be able to take money out of their account. So that's the effect. So because of your laziness, other people will get the consequences, the bad consequences. Other people will be in trouble. Okay, and then what will happen to you? You will be fired. You will have no job because you didn't do your job properly. Okay, your choice to be lazy will put other people in difficulties. Okay, so now let us think. Now imagine if you're a student, then you decide, oh, I don't want to do my homework today. What do you think will happen? To you, to your teacher, and to other people, to your friends and to your parents. Okay, so this is your first task today. I want you to write as a student, what will happen if you don't do your homework? If I don't do my homework, what will happen to me? I will. What happened to you? My teacher will. What happened to your teacher? And other people will. What happened to other people? So this is your first exercise. You can write it in your book, or you can just type it in the comment section. Now let's move on to the next one. In the video you have watched just now about the lazy horse, about Tofu and Tia. Tia is the sister and Tofu is the boy. Can you name the choices and consequences made in the video you have watched? Okay, do you still remember what choices are? Do you still remember what consequences are? Okay, let us look into the video. What choices are there? Some of the choices. Okay, these are some of the choices that happens in the video. Okay, the first one, Tofu choice. He chose to watch TV. He chose to watch cartoon instead of doing homework. And then, okay, this is Tia's choice. Tia is the sister. Tia's choice, she chose to hid Tofu's book under the pillow. And then lastly, let us talk about the lazy horse. The lazy horse, it chose to jump into the water because it's lazy. It wants the salt to become lesser. Now let us look at the consequences of their choices, of their action. Okay, these are the consequences. Okay, so because the lazy horse, it always jump into the water, then the master noticed, right? So what happened to it? The consequences is the master replaced the salt with cotton. If you put salt in the water, it will become lighter because it's getting lesser. But if you put the cotton in the water, it will become heavier, sometimes 5 times heavier. So the consequences is the horse have to carry a really heavy cotton bags. Next one. Okay, because Tia hid the book and then she teach Tofu a lesson that we must always be responsible to ourselves. Because she hid the book, then Tofu realized that he have to do the work. If he didn't do the work, then the teacher will scold him tomorrow. So it's a good thing she hid it, because it make Tofu realize that he have to be responsible and do all of his homework. If not, he will get a scolding from the teacher. Okay, And this is a result of Tia's hiding the book, and the result of Tofu watching the TV. He didn't pay attention to the homework, to his work. So when he checked the book in the bag, he cannot find it because Tia hid it, and at the same time it's because he is not responsible. If he is responsible, he should know where all his books are. Because Tia hid the book, he cannot do his homework. But at the same time, the good thing, because Tia hid it, then he realized that he should do the work. Okay, that's the consequences. Let us talk about your responsibility as a student. As a student, what is your responsibility? So there are three main responsibilities as a student. Number one, you must always be on time. That is your first responsibility. No matter if you're going to school or if you do your homework, finishing your homework, you must always be on time. The second one is you must always do your homework. Whenever your teacher give you work, you need to finish them. Why? There are so many things, so many reasons why. Number one, because the homework will help you understand what you have learned today better. The second one, when you do homework, your hand will be moving. When you move your hand, your eye and your brain will work at the same time. So it will train your concentration, it will train your reflex, and it will help you concentrate better. Okay? And lastly, when you do your homework, you are learning something new. In life, we always learn new things, no matter in school or not. So when you do your homework, you will become more familiar, you will become better. Practice makes perfect. Okay, so next one, the last one is, as a student, you should always be responsible to make a good choice. You must know what is a good choice and what is a bad choice. Okay, so today we will be talking about making good decision or making good choices. Our responsibility to make good choices. Okay, I'm going to show you 5 pictures here. So I want you to choose one picture out of the 5 pictures. Okay, picture number 1, a boy is doing his homework. Picture number 2, a boy is sleeping in the class. Picture number 3, some pupils, they are doing their homeworks. Although they wanted to play games, they want to play with their toys, they want to play basketball, but they finish their homework before doing all of the things they wanted to do. And then people asking questions. When they don't understand, they raise their hand and ask the teacher. And then lastly, talking to your friends, speaking to your friends. Okay, people choose to speak with friends. Okay, so I want you to choose one picture out of the 5 pictures here, and I want you to tell me, what do you think is the consequences of your choice? Just now you choose one picture. Now I want you to write what will happen because of your choice. For example, if I choose picture number 2, the boy is sleeping in the class. So what will happen is, you won't be able to finish your homework and you will have to do your extra work later when other people have finished it and they can relax. So this is the consequences of sleeping in the class. So You cannot choose this picture because I already choose it, so you can choose one picture out of the other 4, and then you need to tell me what is the consequences of their action. Okay, so what is your choice? So what do you think is the consequences of your action? This is the second exercise for today. Okay, now I want you to watch this story, and after you watch this story, we are going to do our last work for today.
What happened, my dear? You look upset.
You know, Grandma, I've been assigned to a painting project in my school. I was asked to create a picture with nature's theme, but there is no green color left on my color palette. I have used it all. I don't understand what to do. Can you please help me out?
Haha, my dear, you're so worried about this little thing. There is always some or other way to everything. I'm telling you a story. Listen carefully. It may help you find solution to your problem. Hundreds of years ago, somewhere in Italy, a small businessman owed a large sum of money to a moneylender. The moneylender was a very old and ugly man and wanted to marry the businessman's young, charming daughter, Michelle. The moneylender offered the businessman a deal that all his debt would be completely wiped out if he could marry the businessman's daughter. This proposal was accepted by the businessman with a feeling of revulsion. But Michelle did not want to marry the moneylender and denied to do so. When the moneylender got to know this, he gave a choice to the businessman's daughter, that she would have to pick a pebble from a bag with 2 pebbles inside. And if she would pick the black pebble, the debt would be wiped out completely, but the moneylender would marry her. But if she would pick the white pebble, the debt would be wiped out and the daughter wouldn't have to marry him. The moneylender picked up 2 pebbles from the businessman's garden. While picking up pebbles, Michelle noticed that he picked up 2 black pebbles and placed them into the bag. He then asked the daughter to pick one. The daughter naturally had 3 choices as to what she could have done. First, either to refuse to pick a pebble from the bag. Second, to take both pebbles out of the bag and expose the moneylender for cheating. Or third, to draw out a pebble from the bag and sacrifice herself for her father's freedom. She finally picked a pebble from the bag, and before anyone could see what she picked, she deliberately dropped it into the midst of other pebbles and said to the moneylender, "Oh, it slipped from my hand unknowingly. Never mind, if you look into the bag for the one that is left, you will be able to tell which pebble I picked." The moneylender was sure about the pebble left in the bag was obviously black, and as he didn't want to get exposed, he had to play along as if the pebble the daughter dropped was white. So the moneylender was forced to clear her father's debt. Remember, don't limit yourself to the only options you think you have. Sometimes you have to think out of the box too.
Thanks, Grandma. Instead of thinking about the already finished color, I should start mixing yellow and blue to create the green color.
That's my boy.
Now, what choices did you find in the story? How many choices? And what are the consequences of the choices? Like what we do in the first video, I want you to list down at least 2 choices that happens in the story, and who are making the choices, and what are the consequences of the choices. So this is your third exercise for today. Make sure to do all your homework. Choose the better choice. Choose to become a better student. Okay, so that's all for today. See you in the next video. Bye.